Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Junior Fatu, formerly known as Rikishi throughout the world.
And I'm Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. We like to welcome you to the Push. And what the Push is about is the Push is we're literally we like to give push to new wrestlers, new promotions, the fans. I Am Wrestling. I Am Wrestling is about everything, and I Am Wrestling TV is about wrestling. And you too, the fans, get to have your say. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down and give analysis on matches and the matches you vote upon. Now there'll be 3 matches up. You'll pick your winner. The statistics will come in. This week we have a tie, believe it or not, and we'll get into all that later on. But we'll break the matches down and give our humble opinions on what we think. You know, I've been wrestling 28 years. Kishi's been, he was doing finishes with Jesus back in the day. Well, the man's been around a long time, and I've learned from his family over and over and over again, and I'm still learning here, as we say. But this show is, the promotions will send in matches of wrestlers, and the fans will get to watch it, and you guys get to pick it, and it's really exciting. And speaking of exciting, we also get a bonus match on there, too, the LA Templars and the High Rollers from the Territory League, and I'll let Kishi take it over from there.
Territory League. It's powered by Genio.
Powered by Genio.
That's all you need to know. So when you're on the I Am Wrestling TV site, fans, I encourage you to check it out.
It's very exciting and cool.
So let's go ahead with Santino Brothers.
Well, you want to go Santino first?
Why not?
Cool. Well, that's right here locally in the Southern California area. So we got the Santino Brothers Wrestling, and it was the submission title match. You know, did you?
Oh yeah.
Well, I personally liked it. You know what I mean? It reminded me of the old UWF with Takada, Maeda, and Fujiwara. They went out there and wrestled. A lot of people might not find this entertaining in a sense, but I found it very entertaining in a wrestling sense because I'm a purist. I love wrestling. You know, I got stuck with the vampire character, but before I evolved into being the vampire Gangrel or the Vampire Warrior or whatnot, and any of my other characters, I really truly loved to wrestle. And what we had to do is this match is similar to our training. We used to have to be able to rest 20 minutes in the center of the ring without breaking contact and be pure wrestling before we were ever allowed to touch the ropes or anything else. And so this took me back. I flashed back, and I really enjoyed it a lot.
No fans, we're talking about Tito Escondido versus Tyler Bateman. Now this was at the Santino Brothers Wrestling, and you know what? I honestly I don't know nothing about these two, but just by watching the match. I think this guy, Tito Escondido, has a chance in the goods, being trained a little bit more, having a little bit more experience to get advice and trained by those that knows. He has a chance to, I can see him in WWE or even the Territory League.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was more really, I'd hate to say it, but I was more watching into the match and how they performed and their technique. And if I could say anything to them, I'd say be careful when you're going back and forth. If you guys are watching this, if you even care, or if anybody even cares about wrestling, be careful when you're going back and forth into these moves. Make sure you're actually doing the move in transition. Now, if you're making this a struggle and you're supposed to be shooting on each other and going for submissions, you're not just going to give your leg up there to them to hook the submission. And don't fumble with it. Know your move. Be a student of the game. Live, breathe, wake up thinking about it. Watch all you can. But I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I really did, and I love the effort in it. And yes, Escondido, he had a thick body like a bull. I wish I had more stats on these guys. Do you actually know their height or not? If they're 5'5" or 6 foot or 6'2", if he's an actual monster or what the situation was. But I did enjoy that. And if I can give them any other advice, I'd say be careful when you're going into stuff. Like I like the roaring elbow misses, but they were a bit slow. So make sure that you pop those things in there and make it count. Don't struggle with that kind of stuff.
Right. I think they need to be a little bit more snug out there, and
they kick the liver in or something. So I don't know. I want to be any more snug than that.
Us Samoans, we like it like that.
Well,
snug,
I like my teeth
however you want to call it. But shout out to Santino Brothers for sending in that footage. We all ask you guys out there that are watching this, continue to follow Santino Brothers Wrestling in SoCal. So let's move on.
And I did like the armbar finish out of the corner, guys, and he fought for that. That was cool. I dig that, and I hope you fans do too.
That's all right.
Yeah, all right.
So let's move on.
We'll go across the pond now to Australia.
Yeah, we're going all the way out to shout out to Australia, New Horizon Pro Wrestling out there in Australia. And this cat here, Kevin Steen versus Tama Williams. Now, Kevin Steen, David, he's just been signed with NXT WWE Wrestling, right?
Or WWE. I don't know if he's going to NXT. I don't know what the deal is, but I did hear he was signed. Yes.
Dude, this is a big fat dude, Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a big belly like a keg,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, but he can move.
But he can move.
He can move.
Yeah,
he can move.
knock
But
that.
my biggest thing about him is honestly, it's his gear. He doesn't have wrestling gear. He's just in shorts.
Yeah,
I mean, granted, you can move. That Bigelow can move.
Yeah, but he had wrestling tight. Yeah, but I had a thong.
Yeah, but when you're so I think you still had wrestling gear and stuff. You didn't just show up in your gym clothes and go out there to wrestle.
I mean, please, somebody, if you know Kevin Steen, please help this guy get some wrestling trunks. Not to show up in basketball shorts and a t-shirt, right?
Ooh-wee, he got signed. So he got signed wearing basketball.
All right, somebody fooling somebody, I guess.
But, I mean, what I really like, honestly, is the Tama Williams cat.
Now,
I'm not sure. I don't know anything
what?
about him, but
Is
to
he
me,
Afakasi, half? That means, half Palangi, half white.
I don't know.
Half
Tama's a Samoan
yes.
name. I'm not sure.
But then Williams.
Maybe, but
you related to Williams, or?
But maybe he's Dr. Destiny Williams' son. I don't know. But he had a body to the older Muda kind of thick like that.
He looked pretty jacked.
They started out really strong style in that match, going elbows, forearms, and then. But what I didn't also, I'm sorry, I want to go back to Kevin Steen, because he's a big guy being serious, right? He's doing a lot of stuff. He's moving fast, but I didn't like how he. I know when you're on an indie show, you're close and you're personal with the crowds.
Right.
You might not realize on social media today and the promoters how stuff's going to get sent out, which is I'm glad your promoters decided to send your stuff into I Am Wrestling TV, man. The more, because I enjoy. I mean, it was great to see a match from Australia. I love the accent of the crowd cheering on, and I dug the vibe and the energy. So I mean, please keep sending your videos in, your matches in, promotions to I Am Wrestling TV. You'll find it all on there. Just follow the guidelines and submit. We're both really looking forward, and the rest of the world, to seeing your product and new talent out there. And remember, it's about wrestling, so don't. I'm sorry to get straight away, but don't send music videos in, and I'm gonna touch later on that with like Fox.
Okay, David. All right. But just educate me who this guy Kevin Steen and Tama Williams is.
Well, I don't know.
I have no idea who they are.
Kevin Steen on shows around about, and he's always a hard worker, 150%.
Really?
Yeah. I just didn't like that he threw the comedy in with
that.
the chops. It was like too many chops, and he was like, "Oh, it hurt my hand." No, you want to kill somebody, you chop. You know what I mean? Stay serious throughout the match, whether you're wearing basketball shorts or not. But I believe he's a heck of a talent. But I seen him in here and there, and I see this kind of match all the time on shows all up down the East Coast with Tommy Dreamer's promotion, the House of Hardcore, and stuff like that. And they all tend to be the same to me, but they're great. It was a good, strong match, and I really did like it. But Tama Williams is who I was impressed with. I don't know this cat, but I've seen a future there. I mean, maybe I would like to see him if Territory League. I'd like to see him maybe branch out here in the Territory League, maybe to give him a shot here or something to fit him in on the team. I seen something in there that I really liked on this kid. I mean, he was strong. He started out strong when they were forearming each other back and forth. I liked that. Then he got a little slow when he took his heat. He should have got on there and, initiated that he's got control of the heat. But, that comes with, being new and, your match time and seizing the moment. But he was strong at the end and the finish, and they finished with that crazy power driver. Kevin Steen beat him there. But when they went into the back and forth on the false finishes, they were back and forth. It was good, and I was really impressed with how Kevin Steen moved. But, I mean, I really think this Tama Williams is something to look out for. He's way over there in Australia. Hopefully he gets out here. We see some things. Maybe the Territory League people, or, I know they're watching the I Am Wrestling TV and all that. We're all hand in hand and getting along, and there's partnerships all over the place. So I hope they see this and take a look at this cat.
All right, fans. Sounds to me like Kevin Steen gets the push. And fans, we continue to ask you for New Horizon Pro Wrestling. Follow them on www.nhpw.com.au. All right? Then we're moving on to who gets the next push. Falls City, San Francisco Wrestling.
Oh, really? Look. You see my notes for Falls City? These are my notes for Falls City.
Caesar Black and the crew up there. We had the match of watching Timothy Thatcher versus Malachi, one of my favorites with Reno Scum. What do you think about that match?
Well, I'll Kishi, I really, when I saw the 3 matches go up, I really was like excited. I said, okay, Timothy Thatcher. I've known this guy. I've known this guy for. Wow, I'll just get a little thrown off. Can we go back? I want to go back to New Horizon Pro in Australia and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. I mean, this the push. We can do whatever we want.
what people don't realize about that, and I know you know this, but I just want to give it his props before I move on any further,
Okay.
is that Mana runs that New Horizon Pro, and he was trained by Alpha Pops.
Mm-hmm.
So that company is kind of, it's traditionally, Samoan history,
Mm-hmm.
the lineage, and so that was very cool to do that, and to see like students coming out of the Wild Samoan Training Center all
Right.
the way over. How proud of you of Rusev? I don't even pronounce that name. I know him as Miroslav.
Well, you know what? Yeah, we're going to call him Miro. The world knows him as Rusev Alexander. Listen, just to see Miro out there doing his thing,
Beast.
you and I, and also Black Pearl, who's cousin Reno, that's out there. We trained this guy, hands on.
But
And very proud just to see him utilizing his training, and getting over it. We always told him your time will come. He waited for a while being stuck out there, and then next thing you know, when that time came, he seized the opportunity and took it. Now look where he's at now.
this is a guy that moved from Bulgaria.
And still humble.
He's still humble. Moved from Bulgaria, came over here to chase an American dream. Now he's crushing American dreams, right?
Yeah,
So, but this guy, he slept in his car.
But David, first shoot, right? That's why, to know how Miro is and to see how he's utilized his training. This kid, he listened, he learned from us, and to this day, he's still humble. We still keep in touch and so forth. I always wanted to learn to text us and find out how did I do on my match, how did I do. So I'm sure you are like I am and like Reno is. We're very proud of him,
Yeah.
He deserves it, he worked hard.
Yeah, he worked 3 jobs. He would sleep in the parking lot of the school just not to even miss a training. Didn't miss a training. We had morning trainings, night trainings. He would work in between his jobs, come there, sleep in the parking lot. And he'd be there first guy in the morning to get in the ring, and that's dedication. And if you guys, anybody's out there watching this and you're trying to get into pro wrestling, it's just hard work. You got to put your work in. It might be your destiny, it might not be, but if you work hard enough and you have heart and passion for it, you can obtain anything you want. He is living proof of that. And I'm sorry, we'll move on. We'll get sidetracked here. Unless you got anything else to say.
No, we're pretty good. I just wanted to talk about Falk City, San Francisco, Timothy Thatcher versus Malachi.
Right.
Before we even came on the air here, I didn't even know who Timothy Thatcher was until you kind of educated me who this kid was.
Right.
And this is the good thing about I Am Wrestling TV, personally for me, David, is I'm able to see all these cats that I've never seen before, and I am really enjoying watching these new federations and different companies that are submitting their footage here on I Am Wrestling TV. And it's for me, just to be able to sit there and be able to turn it on and watch some free, not $9.99, not $8.99, it's free. Right? All fans, all wrestling, all the time. And I love that having access to that.
Well, that's why I was excited. I'll give you a little history. This is why I'm so upset with the outcome of this Falk City one. But I'll give you the history of Timothy Thatcher. I met him. This was a kid. He's from northern. He's in Sacramento area. I met him in England. He went over there. He paid his way over to England. He wasn't booked for any company. Very little experience in pro wrestling. Now he wrestles an English character. But he's a white boy from Sacramento, North Cowboy. And he went over there, got a job on a ring crew. He did tell me how much experience on. He went over there and he paid his dues. He's working in and out, sleeping in a van in the winters of England. He had pneumonia, the flu. He was sick as hell when I met him. This guy, but he went over there and he worked his way up and he started getting on show after show because he just wanted to learn his craft. He wanted to do an English character and he wanted to understand English catch wrestling, all the different wrestling back and forth with that. And he went over there and he worked his way up. He started working for all the bigger companies and he comes back over here. And I just really, really enjoy watching him work. So when I saw these matches lined up, and it said Thatcher versus Malachi, I know Malachi. I've been in the ring with that bruising. I've been in there. I've been on the other side of everything he could deliver, I'm still here to talk about it, but I think I'm a few brain cells dead. But I was really excited and really pumped up. So, I sit down and I go through the first 2 matches, and I'm like, they're cool. But I'm really waiting on that last one. I'm really waiting on the last one. And then I get on there, and it turns out to be the Caesar Black 15-minute whatever. I don't know. Starts out with Caesar Black putting himself over, of course, and then it gets to the wrestling, and I'm going, okay, well, I could deal with Caesar Star now. We're at wrestling now. It was worth. Caesar was worth.
So you're saying we'd rather see wrestling rather than promos?
Yes. Right, especially Caesar Black. But that's not even it. We get to the wrestling, and it says this match has been edited due to time. I go, okay, I can see these guys go long, but maybe they clip it out right. I still get to see some good wrestling. I'm really looking forward to this matchup. And then it's like a minute 52 in, And then boom, it's done. They're in the finish. Malachi beats Thatcher with a vicious pile driver,
Right.
cross-arm pile driver. And when I saw the match was great, but I knew I was just missing a really good match.
Right.
So I go, wow, why did it end there? But then it turns out there was another 8 minutes of Caesar Black promoting a rap video, CD or something, and pushing Fog City itself in a music video, and not the match. I felt cheated. I felt robbed. I was angry.
Listen, don't get hot.
No, I was hot.
Don't get hot
Caesar
on
Black
this
was video with his ashy rear end. I would have kicked him in it. I just said, meet my foot, ass. You about to just put it on here.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just like Caesar. He just baffled me sometimes. Fog City, though. You pointed out earlier before we were talking before the show that you really liked how Fog City's production was, and so did Caesar point that out. But it was great production. Yes, it probably had the better production out of the three. But it's not about just the production. The show is I Am Wrestling TV.
Right. Wrestling.
Like, but for me, it's the wrestling.
Right.
Yes, it's an overall product, and
Absolutely.
but it still is I Am Wrestling, and I felt very cheated. And as you guys, if you submit these matches, please don't. We want to see the talent out there, and so do the fans. So the promotions and stuff. Please take the time and try to keep it under 15 minutes, and mostly concentrate on the matches there.
So it's not about the managers. So managers, you guys quit trying to put yourself over. It's about the wrestlers worldwide.
Well,
you know?
the managers can be a part of it. They're part of the match. It's a referee, two wrestlers, a manager.
You
It's
just
then the
don't
match.
like-
But he's promotion.
You
He was
just
on-
don't- you
he was
just don't like
commentating,
Caesar Black.
Then he
That's
put
all.
over a rap video, then a rap CD, Gangsters or something. I don't know where he was. He was all over the place, but the wrestling. And
All right,
I don't even want to talk about it.
There you go. Let me go ahead and close this out here. There's the push. What? Go ahead.
Don't know. Well, we don't want to overlook the fact that there was no clear winner this week. It was a tie. I think it was like 47 or 43% each. So that was with the Santino brothers, the SoCal with the Escondido. And
We're talking about the votes,
and then,
right?
yes, the fans
fans
votes.
have votes?
The fans votes.
Okay.
And then it was New Horizon Pro Wrestling out of Australia. So you got they were 41% each, I think. I'm not sure the facts on that, but they were 41% each, which that tells you Caesar Black. I think you were in a teen percentile,
They
whatever
came
it was
in- they
left.
came in
You
last
figure
place.
out Caesar Black. If you're watching this, and I know you are because you're all over the place creeping. If you're watching this, look at the vote and what I put on Facebook, my blog, and everything. It stands true if you read the fans' votes and the people's votes. Where's Fog City at? Great production, everything, but it was about the wrestling. You cheated them out of a great wrestling match, Caesar Black. But let's get on back to the matches that I would not have voted for. I would probably more than likely pick that Thatcher match with Malachi because I know them. But these other two matches now we're in a tie, and if I had to pick a winner out of the two matches,
You would have went with.
I would have went with Santino, not because of the entertainment value, but because I loved wrestling. I appreciate the old UWF. I don't get to see that all the time, that style of wrestling. So it was really cool to see them stick the match through, ride it out. It had
So
some
you
rough
voted
spots.
for Santino?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for
brothers.
Santino. Not that Kevin
Okay.
Steen and them, they were probably all around better
All right.
match, entertainment-wise, energy, this and this and that. I personally, my personal preference, I went with Santino because I enjoyed seeing that style of wrestling for a change.
Okay.
I see the Kevin Steen type of matches every weekend out on the road. We're out on the road traveling every weekend, Keisha, and I see that. I see the guys doing the same stuff here and there and there. So it was a pleasure, and I thank you too, and I thank the Santino brothers for sending that in because it was a pleasure to watch that.
Well, my pick would have to go with. I enjoyed New Horizon Pro Wrestling out from Australia, Mana's crew. The reason being with Kevin Steen, number one, he's a big dude, and I respected the fact that he's a big dude that can move,
We can move.
fast, just like me.
Yeah.
And then just I don't agree with what he got on his ring attire. So if you're out there, Kevin Steen, and you're watching, get you some ring attire. If not, email me and I'll send you my thong. All right, and then the new kid. I enjoy watching this new kid, Tama Williams. But Tama Williams, you're out there watching this. Just a little bit of advice. I think that try to practice on your training, practice on your charisma out there, and so forth. But I think this kid here, he has what it takes to be something big in the future.
He's my pick. If
So-
you had a standout wrestler, and I was really excited to see what's going to come new from. It's like Tama Williams. I want to know more about.
I wonder if
I'd like
he's
to get some
Samoan
stats
or
on him. I'd like to
Maorian
see
or
some-
We'd have to email Mono
I
to
don't
tell
even,
us
I
what
just,
he
there
is.
was something about him that I really like. He's going to be etched in my mind now, and I'm really hoping territory league or even WWE. I hope he.
Okay.
I want to see more of this guy, even if it comes in. I don't. We've already seen New Horizon Pro, and being tied. I don't know how it's going to run into next week. If they're going to use him, I'm not sure how that's working here. So I want to see what's going on with that.
All right.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Tama Williams again.
Okay. All right, fans. Keep it locked for next week. This is the push that we're giving you live.
Keep banging and banging 24/7.
I'd like to personally send a shout out to a friend of mine, a friend of all of ours, a legend in this business, David. Me personally have learned a lot from this guy here. Jake the Snake recently has been in emergency for sickness or illness. And Jake, if I'd like to send a shout out to you and your family and get well, my friend.
Hey, Jake, you've DDT'd everything in life. You just DDT'd cancer. You can do this. Hang in there and stay tough. Keish. Thanks.
You good?
Hey, can I get some water? But thanks. So I guess I messed up there. I guess because it was a tie with New Horizon Pro and the Santino brothers, New Horizon Pro's match will go on this week with the new matches and the new everything this week. And the Santinos will get theirs next week because it was a tie. So they're going to stretch them out over the 2 weeks so they both
I
get their
got you.
justice. That's what's
Okay.
going on there. But thank you, man. It was fun. I sorry I was a little nervous with all this thing. But it's cool,
Hey,
man.
we ring it like we ring it. We do what we do. The push in, push out.